the many types and careers of psychology.
Yes, very interesting. Experimental psychologists are interested in conducting scientific experiments to test various hypotheses about the behavior and mental processes of individuals. A lot of people assume that experimental psychologists are only interested in the behaviors and mental processes of humans, but that's not the case. We're also interested in the behavior and mental processes of animals. And so a lot of times you'll see with experimental psychologists that they run experiments on animals, looking at their behavior, looking at how they interact with another, and also looking to see their environment. And then in my dream, I realized that my cat was my father. Clinical psychologists are the ones that a lot of people tend to think of when they think of psychology. Those are the individuals that work with patients who are experiencing emotional or psychological distress. Clinical psychologists also work with diagnosing psychological disorders and helping to find the appropriate treatment for individuals. So then in this other dream, my cat was actually my son.
Hi, I'm Miss Dillon. I'm a school psychologist. As a school psychologist, our vision is that all children access the learning, behavior, mental health support needed to thrive at school and at home and for the rest of their lives. My focus is essentially on assessing kids who may need special services in the school to help them out academically, socially, and emotionally. I also work with teachers to help kids get the right accommodations and interventions in order to help them throughout their school day as well. It all starts from day one, so I start and I work with kids from pre-K all the way up to 12th grade. And there's a shortage of school psychologists, so if anyone's interested in learning more about becoming a school psychologist after graduation, please let me know. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Dillon. Now, while school psychologists are interested in testing students, the individuals that actually create those tests are what we call educational psychologists. And if you've ever had to take a wonderful standardized test, whether it's the SAT, MCAT, what used to be known as PARCC, chances are there was an educational psychologist behind that. But don't fear. Educational psychologists are not just looking at how to create tests and how to test individuals, but they're also interested in teacher morale and figuring out kind of how to improve the school experience. There we go. Don't be sleepy. Developmental psychologists are interested in seeing how we develop throughout our entire lifespan, starting at conception and going all the way to death. There's various subcategories of developmental psychologists, such as child psychologists that focus more on child development, but all of it is looking at how we develop and how we grow. Yes, I got Rainbow Dash. Personality psychologists are interested in figuring out who we are and what makes up who we are, which ultimately is our personality. They help to design these various personality tests that we use and help to figure out what characteristics are important in figuring out who we are. I knew I was Rainbow Dash. Social psychologists are interested in the interactions of people and how that affects behavior and mental processes. A lot of times with social psychologists, you'll see them observing individuals in their natural settings. Environmental psychologists are interested in the impact of the environment on a person's well-being, and also looking at the impact of things like the weather and the sun. And similar to what was mentioned earlier, again, environmental psychologists are not just interested in how the environment affects humans, but also how different environments affect the various animals and organisms on our planet. Because the way that our planet is just doesn't affect us. Industrial or organizational psychologists are interested in the behavior and mental processes in the workforce and with workers, and helping to improve stuff like employee morale. What's this? Cookies? I love it here. Now, health psychologists are interested in the health of individuals and the sense of well-being, whether it be through healthy eating, healthy exercise, or meditation. So the job of a health psychologist is looking into how we can relax, how we can be less stressed, or how we can view stress in a way that helps us to be nice, well-rounded, and happy individuals. Now, consumer psychologists are interested in consumers and just what consumers buy. They're looking at their attitudes towards certain products and how we can advertise to help get people to buy what we want. Sports psychologists are interested in the behavior and mental processes of athletes. More specifically, looking at how they compete in very stressful situations and are still able to to perform at peak levels.
So hopefully that helped to explain the different types of careers and just the different types of psychologists that are out there, not just clinical. And this only kind of scratched the surface of all the different fields out there. Because as always, psychology is everything. But now that you've learned about some of the different kind of career paths and different types of psychologists, I wonder, which one was your favorite?